Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The Highland Park fire chief is fuming over this. A shocking move by Detroit firefighters, ordered to gather up their hoses and leave as that fire rages behind them. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skilly, and this happened Monday night in an occupied apartment building on Tuxedo near the Lodge in Highland Park, just across the border from Detroit. Detroit fire crews were first on the scene and first to run into the burning building to get people out. But
tonight, Highland Park's chief says the call for Detroit Fire to get out and go while the fire spread right behind them put his crews in danger. The apartment building is now a total loss, and 2 families lost everything. Sean Lay is investigating this story. Sean, you're learning the Detroit crew left the fire not for safety reasons.
Absolutely. They were pulled by their chief to come out of that burning building. I talked to one firefighter who's right at the fire there. He says they almost had that fire out, but when they get a call from their chief to get out, that's exactly what they did. They did what they were told. Firefighters Union in Detroit telling me tonight, these guys are heroes for going into Highland Park and saving lives. He thinks that focus should be on that. Highland Park's chief, though, says firefighters coming out, Detroit firefighters leaving a fire when they're trying to get in, he says that was wrong and dangerous.
Is it okay to take water off a fire and walk away?
It absolutely is not okay.
Highland Park Fire Chief Eric Hollowell is blasting a Detroit Fire Chief's decision that he says put lives in danger and led to this apartment building burning out of control in Highland Park Monday. But the Detroit Fire Department and the Detroit Firefighters Union, they are calling their fire crew at the same fire heroes for getting people out of the building.
Our firefighters responded quickly, faster than the other 2 agencies responded, and got in with charged line and got individuals out, saved a woman and a child that were inside a burning building.
But in video posted to Instagram shows Detroit firefighters doing what they were told to do by their chief. Pick up their hoses, get out of the building, and leave the scene with that fire raging right behind them.
3-5 to all companies inside. Come on out. Bring your lines out.
They're wrapping up. You guys are getting set to go in.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking away from a major fire.
There's no water going on that fire at all.
No water.
At all.
They took the water away.
Yes.
Why?
That's $1 million question. That was negligent as to the highest power.
The Highland Park Fire Chief says the Detroit Fire Chief's call to pull his crew out of the building allowed the fire to burn unattended as Highland Park and Hamtramck crews were trying to get inside. Detroit Fire's David LaValle says their chief made the right call and handed that fire off to Highland Park in Highland Park.
And the chief on scene made a determination that he was turning that scene over to Hamtramck and Highland Park. It was at that point, for a structure fire that was occurring outside of the city of Detroit.
Someone lost a home because of that nonsense. There's no logic as to why you would pull away from that fire like that and let it free burn.
Back here live, there's a lot more to break down for you here. Let's talk about the Firefighters Union here. Talk to the head of the Firefighters Union. He says, really, these guys, the Detroit firefighters, saw smoke. They went into Highland Park, got to that apartment, and got people out. He says medals should be given out for that, for going above and beyond. Upper level person with Hamtramck Fire was also right there at the fire. He says the fires are very chaotic. If they see a fire, it's their duty to put it out, not leave. He's proud of his crew in a very difficult situation there. Hamtramck was also there. DFD says there's no investigation into this, but we do know today that a person with Detroit Fire visited everyone who was at that fire, gathering more information, more facts about why that crew was called out of the fire when it was still burning. Back to you.
Such an unusual story. All right, Sean. We are seeing for the first time police dash cam of a chase that ended in a fatal crash in Warren last week. Video shows most of the incident from start to finish. It all started at 10 Mile and Ryan last Tuesday when the suspect, described as a 24-year-old from Warren, took off from a traffic stop. Police say he was driving without a license. Chase went off the road on a number of occasions through residential streets before the suspect then crashed after running a red light. After the chase, police said they found a gun in the car. Police said the pursuit was reviewed and that everything was up to code under department standards.
It's a highly unusual situation in which Michigan Republican Party Chair Christina Caramo finds herself. A large contingent of her own party leadership wants her out of office, and there's a meeting scheduled to at least discuss removing her from office with the intent to do just that. Local 4's Rod Maloney has the latest.
The infighting inside the Republican Party is largely unprecedented, these warring factions trying to gain control over how to proceed. But now we're in election year 2024. And over the past month, things have really escalated in that they've had a meeting scheduled, meeting canceled, moved to another location. And so finally, this coming weekend, Saturday, they've moved here to the Multi-Lakes Conservation Association to see if they can put out the fire. Christina Caramo's days as Michigan Republican Party chair may be numbered if a contingent of her former supporters has its way.
I think that there's a buffet of options for anyone to choose.
It is led by Warren Carpenter, who says he helped fund Caramo's run for Secretary of State and now says he's stunned by her and her staff's ineptitude.
They're putting people at criminal and civil liability by the way that they're running the party.
Here is the agenda set for Saturday afternoon. Carpenter says he and his splinter group are following the party bylaws and claims to have the 50% plus one vote lined up, petitions signed, to have a vote to put a motion on the floor to remove Caramo and the party's legal counsel, Dan Hartman. Carpenter alleging major missteps and wrongdoing, including Caramo's desire to help Democratic candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. in his campaign against Joe Biden.
So a Republican chair that's helping elect Democrats, probably not awesome. The lack of fundraising, just the sheer obfuscating of any responsibility for anything, right? It's always somebody else's fault.
Caramo supporters are saying this insurgent attempt to topple her from the chair is improper and non-binding. Now, we reached out to Christina Caramo in numerous ways, legislators, former staffers, and the like, to see if we can get her to say something, and we got no response back whatsoever. We're told that Caramo is not likely to go to the meeting this weekend, and it's all probably a pretty good bet that it's going to end up in court. Reporting live, Rod Malone.
Yeah, okay, Rod, thank you. Turning now to a hearing that happened today in Lansing. Two former staffers to Lee Chatfield, the former Republican Speaker of the State House, were arraigned on running a criminal enterprise and embezzlement.
Ann and her husband, Rob Menard, are accused of embezzling about $500,000 from money raised to help the House GOP. Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel says the two did so while operating a consulting firm and as several political nonprofits. Both pleaded not guilty to the charges. The Menards due back in court January 19th.
All right, let's get a look outside now. Pretty smooth sailing in Southfield, even with a little bit of wetness on the road.
Yep, Kim Adams joins us now following some sub-freezing temperatures finally headed our way.
Yes, tomorrow is going to be the coldest day we've seen all week, but we also have a hope, some hope for sunshine tomorrow. Right now, just spritzing, whether it's rain or snow, just kind of depends on where you are, but the roads are wet and our temperatures are still slightly above freezing, but about to drop below. So those roads could get slippery, especially untreated surfaces like bridges and overpasses that have some airflow underneath of them. So we've seen this radar change from green to blue, back to green again. Green is rain. And so far, Exact Track showing rain for Troy, Birmingham, Beverly Hills, Franklin, also in Royal Oak. And then we're getting kind of a mix going on right now just to the west of Northville in Salem. That's the purple that you see there. So right now Northville is reporting drizzle, but if you go down south of 94, you pick up the blue, and that's just light snow. So it doesn't really matter where you go. There's definitely some moisture on the roads. Temperatures, as I said, are just above freezing now, but will be dropping below freezing over the next couple of hours. So we'll talk more about tonight's road conditions and also what you can expect for the weekend. It includes some snow as well. We'll do that in a few minutes.
All right, we are just 5 days away and counting until the Wolverines take on Washington in the national championship game.
Huge game. That's kind of an understatement, isn't it, at this point? You can put it up there as one of the biggest games in Michigan football history. Pamela Osborne with us now to show us how fans and businesses are getting ready.
Everyone we talked to today starting to put those plans in place as to where they're going to watch the Michigan game. Hey, if you don't have thousands of dollars to get down to Houston to watch the game in person, the Imagine Sports Lounge might be your next best bet.
Michigan makes a stand.
It was so surreal. Like, I think we were all crying. Like, it was like the best thing ever.
Fresh from California and almost out of a voice, Matthew White and some of his fellow Michigan marching bandmates were doing what a lot of Michigan fans are doing right now.
So we just all wanted to get some Rose Bowl merch to rep the team in Houston.
The M-Den on State Street filling its racks with the latest commemorative gear.
The hats have all been, sold out online already, but we have more t-shirts coming in, Rose Bowl and national champion t-shirts.
That merch connecting fans to moments they won't soon forget.
I think I'm gonna remember that day for the rest of my life. It's the grandest stage to ever be on.
The band gets a bit of a break. They practice Friday and fly out to Houston Saturday. And yeah, they are thrilled to see the Wolverines play for the title.
Champions of the West.
Go Blue!
The phone's been ringing off the hook all day with people asking, do you have availability?
Tim Queen with Imagine Theaters says the people who aren't traveling are making arrangements to watch the game here. Just like with the Rose Bowl, Imagine Theaters throughout Southeast Michigan are making room for fans who want to watch the big game on the big screen. Tickets are $20.
For those who have tickets to our sports lounge, we will actually have seat-side food and beverage service.
All right, so for Monday, this theater is booked up, but the good news is they're opening more theaters to accommodate the crowds of people that they're expecting to have here. I just suggest you don't wait too long because everybody wants a little bit of this seat-side service. Reporting in Royal Oak, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4, Go Blue.
You look so comfy there, Pamela. All right, here's a quick heads up. Our Bernie Smilovitz and Hobie Artigue will be there to bring you all the action live from Houston Monday night at 6:30, only on Local 4. A 30-minute chase for the championship special with player interviews and some superfan stories you don't want to miss. That's Monday at 6:30 p.m. right here on Local 4.
It's going to be fun. General Motors released its sales numbers for 2023, and the company saw a 14% boost from the year before. Here's a quick breakdown. In total, 2.6 million vehicles sold. The Buick brand actually saw the highest increase in numbers. In fact, GM reporting a 61% improvement for Buick over 2022. That's quite a jump. Company says 2023 was a record year for combined Bolt EV and Bolt EUV sales, up 63% year to year. Overall, 2023 marked the automaker's best year since before the pandemic.